Fala galera, estamos aqui hoje com o Mike Russel. Mr. Russel, it's a pleasure to have you here in Brazil. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and this has been an amazing experience, so thank you for having me, Brazil.
Yeah, I saw a lot of times you going around the CCXP. How you're feeling about the convention?
This is an amazing convention. This is like absolutely a top-notch convention, and I hope to come back at some point.
Yeah, people are sending a lot of love for you, right? Because a lot of good work, not all robots with Deodato and Superman Space Age. How are you feeling with people giving you the feedback about your work? It's pretty good, no?
Well, I love it because when you write in solitude. It's like performing in an empty room and you don't hear the applause of the crowd. But as a writer, the only time you actually get to hear someone applaud your symphony is when you come to the conventions and they tell you, and the people have been really great. They really appreciate the work, they get it, and it's an amazing fandom you have here.
Yeah, I saw an interview of you saying about your process as a writer, and I remember that you introduced yourself as a writer and not a comic book writer, but today people know most your comic book write. How you feel about this, and do you pretend to keep doing books, writing books, and keep this process, or you are more focused on comics right now?
Well, I love writing comics, and I don't feel any shame in admitting I'm a comic book writer, but I also write prose, I write plays, so I feel like writer is probably the best description for me. And I think that comic book writers are, at essence, writers. They're people who talk about what it is to be a human being on planet Earth, which is essentially what all writers do. And that's what comics, when they're done well, that's essentially what they do.
Yeah. And the last question, after all this work that you are doing right now, what we can expect for Mike Russel? What we can have next for Mike Russel?
Well, I'm working on a top secret project with Mike Allred, which I'm really excited about, which I can't discuss yet. But also I'm doing more creator-owned stuff. I'm writing a book about a man who is magically turned into a donkey and has to experience the world as a donkey. And also right now in the stores, one of my titles, Rumpus Room, is out, and Traveling to Mars, both of which I'm very proud of.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that you are working with Allred, because your Superman work with him, it's fantastic.
I will say it's a direct follow-up to the Superman Space Age.
Yeah, nice. So, Mr. Russel, thank you for your time. It's a very much pleasure to have you here in Brazil, and we hope you come next and follow years.
I'll come next week if you want me to.
Okay, Mr. Russel, thank you so much. And to finish, send a message to your friends in Brazil.
Thank you so much. This has been the best reception I've ever gotten at any convention, and I owe it all to you.
Valeu, galera. Esse é o Mike Russel.